You spend $8,000 and plan 6 months to walk your family down Main Street toward that perfect castle view. Then you turn the corner and you're staring at a plywood construction mall. 2026 is a period of total infrastructure overhaul for Walt Disney World. If you rely on a blog post from a few years ago or the itinerary you used on your last trip, your daily plan is going to fall apart by lunchtime. The first significant closure of the 2026 cycle is a Tomorrowland icon, the Carousel of Progress. Disney is shutting this down on July 6, 2026. The target reopening date isn't until sometime in 2027. This is a heavy loss for veteran parkgoers. This attraction has a 60-year legacy dating back to the 1964 World's Fair. For a lot of families, sitting in that rotating theater is a mandatory generational tradition that they will suddenly have to skip this year. While guests valued the history, they relied on the attraction for its 20-minute air-conditioned theater. It was the primary location in Tomorrowland for exhausted families to reset. Visitors this year are absorbing the friction of this closure without getting the payoff of the updated 2027 ride. To survive the Florida heat, you must trade that convenient rest stop for a schedule that explicitly includes alternative midday breaks. The disruption isn't limited to Magic Kingdom. Hollywood Studios has spent the last decade dismantling its original identity as a working animation studio. In 2026, the Magic of Disney Animation Courtyard is completely closed to guests. This diagram shows the scale of the disruption. The animation courtyard occupied several central acres. Now, that entire section is a construction zone, blocked off in red, to build the Walt Disney Studios area. That construction eliminates the central paths connecting different lands. Now you are forced onto long, circuitous detours, traced here in gold, just to navigate around the perimeter. By 2 in the afternoon, these narrow detour routes become gridlocked choke points. Treating this like a standard park layout is a mistake. You have to trade the expectation of quick navigation for a plan that accounts for significant physical backtracking just to reach your lightning lane reservations on time. When we talk about closures, rides are only half the problem. The real exhaustion comes from missing infrastructure. This map shows how veteran Disney planners typically navigate Magic Kingdom. They use the Walt Disney World Railroad, traced in gold, as a dedicated transit system to skip walking across a park that spans over 100 acres. But right now, construction entirely shuts down the Frontierland station, breaking that continuous loop. The railroad is now operating in a restricted shuttle mode, ping-ponging strictly back and forth between Main Street and Fantasyland. Picture your family at 3 in the afternoon. You just finished Space Mountain in Tomorrowland, and your next reservation is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad on the exact opposite side of the park. Without the train, you are walking the entire way. You are sacrificing the utility of a property-wide transit system. This means you must budget significantly more physical energy and at least 20 minutes of extra walking time into your itinerary just to reach the western side of the park. You might be thinking you can just park hop away from the construction walls. This quadrant chart plots navigational effort against active construction to show the reality of the 2026 resort footprint. Animal Kingdom is currently reimagining 2 major lands, dropping it right into the high-effort, high-construction quadrant. Add Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom to the board, and you see them cluster together to prove this is a property-wide issue. This density of simultaneous projects critically endangers your time-sensitive plans. A delayed bus combined with an unexpected park detour means you easily miss your non-refundable dining reservation. There is no pristine, untouched Disney bubble right now. You must trade the illusion of a seamless resort for the reality of navigating an active construction site, requiring you to pad all transit times by 15 to 20 minutes to protect your schedule. To have a successful trip this year, you have to change your definition of a good day. On this flowchart, hyping one roller coaster creates a single point of failure. When that ride closes, you're forced down a path straight to disappointment. The alternative is prioritizing the atmosphere, parades, entertainment, and dining. This bypasses the closure, pivoting smoothly to another experience. You must trade brittle, ride-specific itineraries for park-wide flexibility. By researching and building in these atmospheric alternatives before you land, you prevent in-park meltdowns and beat decision fatigue in the Florida heat. You are at a crossroads. You can attempt to navigate these 2026 construction variables blindly or arrive with a plan that accounts for them. The Walt Disney World First Timers Complete Planning Guide was built to handle this exact situation. It provides the specific routing strategies and itineraries required to navigate this transitional year. It removes the guesswork by showing you which paths are blocked, where the bottlenecks are, and how to reach your reservations despite the construction. Trade a minor upfront cost for the elimination of in-park overwhelm and completely protect your $8,000 vacation investment. We're up the guide today, and let's get to planning.